Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where we are currently pushing our borders anywhere where it's legal for us to do so. Now, we're currently truced to Aquitaine, and I was actually thinking about coming up here to Frisia, because we can have both of these, so we could easily do a Holy War for Duchy, although that only gets us one. They have two separate duchies here. That's a little awkward for us. Are we still truced to West Francia? Yes, we are. Okay. What about this up here? How much of this is coastal? Quite a lot of it is. Now that's interesting. If we do this, we're not actually eligible to grant out the territory over here. So that's definitely something that's kind of fascinating here. I don't think that I'm going to ultimately end up doing that. Mostly because I do want this to be a coastal empire. Now we could go after Sweden here. We can only get the one location. I'm wondering, what about this? Okay, this county would be a problem, but otherwise we could do that. That is definitely a possibility. Interesting. I wish there was a more efficient way to do this, for sure. But, I mean, the game isn't necessarily intended for restricting yourself this way, so it is what it is. We could go after, like, Pomerania. We could go after... We already controlled this here. This is just a single county here. I mean, that would be a super easy one. Let's get that done, and we're going to hop down here. Honestly, all we need is our men-at-arms for this, in theory. And we'll raise that up, and we'll head on in here. Oh, they're going to stack wipe our 0 troops, aren't they? Actually, no, they're just chilling. We're going to raise a few additional troops here, because they brought in a holy order. So we're going to need a few more. This should be sufficient. And in we go. Cool. I don't think we'll stack wipe this force, but this will be enough to win the war. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'm not sure how far away they're going to retreat, but we'll have this done in 3 months, and I don't think they'll be back by then. Someone is plotting against someone else. Oh no. Who could have ever seen such a thing coming? Definitely not us. Okay, so we're currently 20. We do have an heir, and that's good. That's very, very good. We do want to continue having additional heirs, probably. They're on their way back. They're not going to arrive in time. Okay, there's another pregnancy. Perfect. I want to double check. We're on equal succession, correct? Yes, equal gender law. Okay. So we are going to enforce these demands and disband those troops. We, of course, need to grant this on out to a noble of the Norse culture. Okay, we can raise up a runestone. I guess that's fine. And we could definitely use the piety for that. We'll put that in, like, Buckinghamshire. Cool. So what else do we have going on? Not a whole lot at this moment. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure this used to be our territory. Indeed it did. Indeed it did. However, only one county here is legal for us to take. Because these, while they are coastal, they're coasts on lakes, which we cannot access. So that's interesting, for sure. We technically can't go after that. Now, one thing we could do is look at the de jure kingdom that this is part of, Sweden. We can't quite usurp that. But we could potentially go for a claimant on Sweden here. Like this guy. Done. So that guy joins our court, and then we press his claim on Sweden. So he gains the contested title. We don't have the prestige to pull this off at this moment. So what we can do there is we can definitely have the realm embrace local traditions. Convert yourself and all of your Norse vassals to the culture and faith of your capital. Oh, this is Welsh Norse. Okay. That explains it. We are going to convert that culture. Done. And what about other religions? Yeah, we should actually continue to convert religions down over here as well. That kind of slipped away as we were working on other stuff, but we'll get back to that. And we will build all of this. Beautiful. This ransom is acceptable because we want the prestige. We'll call a hunt. There we go. And we may want to develop this capital as well. We'll go ahead and do that. Diligent planning. And we'll just donate to charity. That's okay. We're improvident, which doesn't really help our income, but that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that. Demand artifact, we decline. And we're going to go in and actually let's ransom prisoners from here. So any of these who are not currently our vassal is what we're going to look at ransoming. Because we want that sweet, sweet prestige, but I would rather not have additional factions at this moment. Although, how risky do we think the factions really are? Is a question that we need to be asking. And the answer, I think, is not particularly. I think that the factions wouldn't be very dangerous. Nevertheless, we'll see exactly how much prestige we get from ransoming only non-vassals here. It's going to be a decent chunk. We need 3,000 to get the Kingdom of Sweden. And we got an extra 150 from the hunt. And we've got enough. Beautiful. So now we're going to come in and declare for this guy's war. Now, technically, this is a province that we can't hold. But because he will get the kingdom title, it is legal for us because we cannot grant that out. And he will be the one who will go after this, I hope. So we'll declare that war. And we are going to go after Sweden here. How many troops do they have? Not many is the answer. We're going to raise up our troops. Just our men-at-arms will probably do the trick unless he brings in any additional mercenaries or holy orders. He brought in an ally. Okay, fair enough. That's 10k. Cool. So these guys are going to head up here. That causes him to stop moving. And then we're going to head over like so. Okay. He's actually locked in now. Test my speechcraft. That'll be fun. Okay, we're going to head over here. And the war's over. Well, that was easy. Cool. So, at this point, we can grant vassals off to rightful lieges, and we will definitely do so. Beautiful. Okay. So now we hope that this guy goes after his claim down here. It's a little unlikely. That said, this is now de jure, which we are legally allowed to grab. So we can go after that later if we want to. So that would be fine. For the time being, I do want to swap off of scholarship focus when we can, which will be in June of next year. Okay, sounds good. We will get ourselves a new chancellor. That will be this guy. Fantastic. Okay. So, hypothetically, yeah, we can't go after that guy. We can only go after de jure claims, remember. We can maybe make de jure claims on some of these areas, but for the time being, I'm going to hold off on that. I do want to come down over this way. Now, technically, we can always, like, bring in somebody like this guy, right? It would be hypothetical that we'd be bringing in this guy. But we can always bring in someone like this guy and then push their claim on the entire area. But I don't think that's a good way to go. I still wouldn't mind going after Egypt here. this would be very interesting. It would cost us 2,000 prestige, which of course we don't have. That said, we can go into our prisoner tab, and we can mass ransom. Like I said, I'm not actually that concerned about vassals right now. I don't think they're going to be a big issue. We have a son. Okay, cool. Sure, showing the Jarl. He'll bring us some extra prestige. And that now means that we have the prestige to declare this, if we so desire. A kingdom invasion down here would be very interesting, because we go for this. We get all titles belonging de jure to the target title, plus we can land here and siege along this coastline. That's very interesting. There are a few titles that we would have to grant out, because I believe that we do not get the actual kingdom title for an invasion. So we would have to grant out these 4 and this one, for sure. And maybe a couple others? No. All of the rest of these are legal for us to hold. Consider it done. That's our big move for this life. Okay, we're going to raise up our troops here. Cool. They hired in a holy order, that's unsurprising, and they've got 20,000 troops. Now their ally joins, they've got 21,000. Not a big deal. So we're going to raise up to around 30,000. Group these together, and we are going to head in over here. We'll siege our way along this coast. Once we arrive here, I'd like to come up here and take some of this territory. Now, we can't hold Jerusalem, sadly, but we can hold Jaffa and Gaza. So we will definitely do that. We're going to head in over here and siege our way as quickly as we can. Now, we don't know where their troops are, but we'll find out eventually. So we will land right here. We can't take anything down this way, so we don't care about sieging this. But let's get this siege done. And we're going to run into some supply issues. That's pretty obvious. So once this is sieged, we're going to be able to get some supply work done over here. There we go. So we have Jafar. Now we're going to split off our siege force. Like so. We're going to have this be about a 4,500 is, I think, pretty decent. We're going to send them over, and we are going to get our... Oh, there's an organizer here. We're going to get our siege commander in here. And then the rest of these, I want all of our men-at-arms. Does this feel like a small amount of men-at-arms to anyone else? They're all raised. Okay. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of weird about that. A small amount of men-at-arms out over this way, plus we can move a few levies. I want only our men-at-arms out of, or all of our men-at-arms all in one place out over here. And then we're going to split this in half. We're going to move them over to here. We're going to split this in half. Oh, I want those knights as well in our men-at-arms. We're going to let this movement happen here so that things are a little bit easier to see. Okay, we'll split this together, or rather group this together, and then we're going to come down and move all of these knights out of here. I wish there was a way to move all of the knights in one go. Sadly, there is not, and it resets back to the top every time, and it's very obnoxious. I don't know what this thing is doing. Okay, that was weird. But we're just going to move this... Oh, didn't grab the right thing. We're just going to move all of these knights over. There's a lot of them. Okay. There we go. So these 14 knights, they move here. Cool. She is bossy? Sure. So these guys move here. They are slightly above the supply limit. We're going to split this in half, and we're going to move them down over to here. And then split these in half again, and move them down here. They're going to be slightly over the supply limit here, too. Supply limits are going to suck for us over in this area. That's all there is to it. But as we get more space over here to work with, it should get a little bit better for us. Okay. So this siege will finish up soon. And what we really want is these coastal locations for supply. I mean, this out over here it's all very rough for the moment. We do get a new learning perk here, and we will take, I think, anatomical studies. And then we're going to swap over to stewardship wealth focus. Beautiful. Because we're negative in cash right now. And we don't necessarily want that. Okay, so we win this siege, and that means that we move here. These guys can move here, where they're not going to take attrition, which means that these guys can move here. Beautiful. Okay. Still no sign of our foe, which is intriguing. But we're going to come hit over here next, and then we're going to go in this way and stop their ticking war score, which they, I believe, will eventually get. So we'll get this grabbed here. Ah, there they are. Okay, cool. We're going to start heading in. And they're coming in right here. So we're going to back our siege force off then. And they're immediately trying to run away and re-embark, which is intriguing. We're going to head in over here then. And we'll see if we can catch any of them. Okay, they're heading off over this way. This guy wants to purchase a truce from us. I decline. He thinks we're a warmonger. He's probably right. Okay, so which one of these is our siege force? This one. Okay, we're going to take that down over here. The rest of these will group together, and we're going to head up and fight them. That is of a top priority at this moment. Cool. They don't want to fight us. I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to fight this either. Like, they don't win this under any circumstances. We can try to become friends with her, but we're not. We're not going to do that. We've begun our siege down over this way. They are retreating into the sea. I love it. Our sister died from her wounds, and that gave us quite a bit of stress here, which is unfortunate, but we can host a grand feast and lose some stress and gain some prestige at the same time. We're going to throw out this smallpox person. Beautiful. Okay, we have a lively feast going on here. Our truce with this guy ended. That was Aquitaine, our Aquitanian truce. Cool. Yeah, Defender currently controls War Target, and that's okay. That's actually what we want. Okay, we're going to see where these guys end up re-embarking to. We grab this location. They're sailing up this way. They want to do that again? That's fine by me. We can just come over to Jaffa with our siege force. Let's go. And then we'll fight them up over here. We'll just continue this fight. We only got 18% war score. We are taking heavy attrition over here, which is to be expected. Okay. So that was a stack wipe. We'll see if this stack wipes too. Offer concubine? I mean, sure. It's not all that relevant, but sure. We actually captured him there. Okay. I'm not going to end this yet. I want this siege to finish first. It may force an end to us, but I want to come down here before we end this war. Because I want this entire coastline. 3 months. Fingers crossed. Let's get some good siege rolls. Sure, showing the Jarl. What do we got? 50 days? 40 days? 30 days? 20 days? We have a son? Okay, sure. 10 days? And done. This is the maximum amount that we can take anyway. So, this is perfect. This is exactly what we want. This is beautiful. Would you look at that? Amazing. So we enforce those demands. There are some territories that we do definitely have to grant out here. We have to grant independence here. So we'll grant that out to a noble of the Norse culture and then grant independence. We have to do the same with this county. So we will... Whoa, hello. OBS, what are you doing? There's a thing here. Sure. Refresh the YouTube chat that doesn't exist. Cool. So we're going to grant this holding out. Or actually, it's already granted out. This is held by a duchy rank. Is it de jure? Yes. It is de jure. So this is legal for us to hold. This, on the other hand, because we don't hold the kingdom level title, and it entirely comprises territories that are not coastal, this guy has to be granted independence. Okay. Anything else that we are required to grant independence to, technically this guy, but... Who is this held by? Our vassal. Okay, this is de jure, so this is fine. This is fine. The reason that this one wasn't fine was because we would not hold this de jure without this guy, and we don't hold the kingdom title. So, we do need to create the kingdom title, but we did not have it before the rule went into effect. So we usurp the kingdom title over here, the Sultanate of Egypt. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to disband all of our troops, and I believe that is every single thing that we have to hand out there. I'm going to double check that here. Yes. All of the rest of these are coastal. Beautiful. That was a huge move. No doubt about that. And next, I want to go after Cyprus. So we're going to declare war here for Conquer Duchy. And there we go. But this war is really something for next episode. And we also have some titles we need to hand out here, which I'll go ahead and do right now. It's a little bit early to put a cut in, so we'll hand out these titles now. And we'll deal with this war in the next episode. Let's see, how many more do we have here? Quite a number. Okay. Well, while I'm doing this, I will say that you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And let's just finish this up real quick here before we get into the channel members. There we go. Fantastic. A very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, Sigma162, JJ Gamer, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Kadra, Raw Potato, Elmichi Nazi, Justin Everett, Emiliano Cambron, Martin Lawrence, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.